We are here with Marine Blin, the director of What Resonates in Silence. Hello, Marine, and thank you for being with us.
Hello, and thanks to you for having me.
So, about your short films, lately psychologists have been saying that drawing is so connected to the unconscious that it can even make you recall like prenatal feelings, things you have felt when you were in the uterus, when you were not born yet. And I wanted to ask you, was the experience of drawing the film like a different form of knowledge and memory of the experience you described?
That's interesting for me to be talking about memories because it's something I'm quite deeply attracted to from sometimes now. Uh, I think there's two different things to see in that way of thinking. For me, there's your natural memory, the one you recall when you are just thinking about some memory from your childhood that you have a precise way of thinking back to. And there's also something called the autobiographical memory, which is deeply connected to your body and all the feelings and the stuff you are really connecting with your body. And it's conveyed by all your senses, your smell, the color, the matter of something. And in a way, for me, it's you can relate to that when you are drawing. In a way, having the materials and doing the drawings on paper and being with the matter, it goes to do like an echo of this kind of memories. So in some way, I think doing the movie in traditional animation and being in this state of repeating all the movement and this kind of thing, for me, created some other images from those memory for me. So I think you can see that there's images deeply connected and linked quite directly with my childhood memories. And I also discovered some other patterns in a way that are more like the unconscious feelings I have from those memories.
Mm.
So for me, it was quite interesting to see that there was something I was really thinking of, and some others were just emerging from this process.
And also, you are an animation director, and animation is maybe the longest process in filmmaking. It puts the author in a sort of hermitage for the duration of the work, and it is a totally different experience from doing a live action set. So
Mm.
I wanted to ask you if you think this is a genre that gives more to you in terms of personal growth, and if you learned something from yourself in the making.
Um, well, for me, it was not like a complete hermitage in a way, because I'm always during this movie. While I was making it, I was working in the studio. I'm always working with other directors doing short movies at the same time. So you have this creative energy. You are not just alone in a dark place doing your drawing. So it's not exactly this kind of experience because you are able to discuss with people when you are not when you can feel lost about your project or stuff like that. But in a way, yes, it's a really long process, and there's something in animation that you have to think everything before you do the movie because it's a long process of production and it costs lots of money. And I think being search for money for the movie during maybe months or years, you have time to connect with the intention you wanted for the project from the first time, and you are able to see other stuff emerge from that also, and you discover some other aspects of your movie doing it. And that's a way for me learn stuff about yourself making the movie in a way. I think the most interesting thing I've learned during this movie for me, because it was the first time I do it like that, searching for money for a long time, and doing the movie quite by myself, because we were just two doing the image, was to learn how to let go and to create space to be able to hear my instinct in some kind of way, be able to create those space, not to be able to see exactly the movie you are doing before you do it, but being able to have that freedom to listen to something else deeply in yourself.
And what kind of research material did you use, if you did, for references, of the film?
For the direction, for
Yeah, yeah,
the
for the direction,
for
and also for all the aspects of the film. What kind of references you had?
for me, there's two distinctive things about that, because at the base, when I'm working on a movie, I'm not looking to other movies, because I have a really hard time digest other form of video while making a movie. So I'm more I'm listening to lots of documentary on radio, for example, or I'm really connecting to books and testimonies and stuff like that, about all the experience of the rituals, for example, how you do the end of the life of somebody. For example, you have something called Thanatorama. It's a website who make you live all the different steps you will cross when you die to the end. And so for the writing of the voiceover, because it was the first part I wrote for the movie, it was really connecting to stuff like that. And when I was working on the direction, really on the storyboard and other things, I was more interested in seeing how people manage to tell a story with an editing of still frames. And if I have to, for example, take two examples of cinemas who were really inspiring for me for that, it was all the short film by Chris Marker, and also a movie by Jean-Gabriel Perriot called 200,000 Ghosts. And it's an editing of still frame from a personal point of view of Hiroshima. And that was quite interesting to see how they play with the duration of a shot and how you do the editing to convey a memory just with still frames. So that was really important for me, because in animation, it can be hard to play with this kind of materials. As you are creating all the images, people always think that you have to be moving always. And I think that's not an issue actually, and you can convey stuff playing more with the editing and the direction of the movie. So for the first part, the film is in two parts. And for the first part, the inspiration of the editing was really born from an exercise of automatic writing, but with drawings. I was stuck doing the first version of the storyboard by the form I was imposing to myself. So I tried automatic writing in drawing. So I took notebooks and I did hundreds of drawings while listening to the voiceover over and over again. And it made me be in a state of quite like auto-hypnosis. and I created some abstract drawings like that. And a few weeks later, I took that and I saw that there were patterns and stuff echoing themselves. And
Mm-hmm.
it was the base for me for doing the editing of this first part. And I knew that I wanted to be with oil pastel to have a feeling, a sensation with the drawings. And I knew that I wanted to convey the feeling of the memory you are bringing back. So I wanted it to be like really fluid with metamorphosis and stuff like you are thinking of an image and there's another one appearing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wanted to have that sort of parallel sorry, between how the memory works and the editing. And
And
for the second part, it was
I saw
something
that
else.
this year with the pandemics and stuff, so many people are turning to memory and to making autobiographical films. Of course,
Mm.
we've spent a long time alone and in our homes, so we had a very spiritual year. But I think that exposing memory to other people forces you to relate to it in a different way somehow. So I wanted to ask you one last question: if the film was about a memory of yours, and if it was, why did you decide to tell it to other people?
Um, yeah, of course, it's based on my personal experience. There's something deeply personal in the movie, but it's not only my own memories. When I'm working, I'm always trying to convey something deeply personal because I remember a scenarist talking to me about that and telling to her that the deeper you go on a personal level, the more universal you become. So at the base, it's my own memories. It's the importance of the image I have of the deceased around me and the image that I have and the one that were taken from me by others and the feeling that I have with that today. But as I was working on the project, I was also talking to lots of people around me, and I've nourished the story with all these testimonials about how it impacts your life years and years after that, when you have not the choice to be able to see your deceased one. So for me, I wanted to do this film to be able to create maybe a space for discussion around in families with your loved one, and to be able to say that it's important to be able to let everybody have the choice to see their deceased one and to make it a personal question, because I think when somebody else chooses for you, you don't have all the tools to be able to go on with your life. So it's a story about resilience. And I think nowadays I have a feeling that our societies are creating a kind of taboo around death and around the aged bodies. And I deeply think that we need rituals. We need to live those moments on a personal level, but also all together. And that's important to just open a discussion about that. So that
I,
was my
I agree.
intention.
Thank you, Marine. Thank you for the
Thank you so
insights
much.
and the answers about your short films. I really hope that the public will like it as much as we did. And a big
Thank
hello
you.
from all the staff, and good luck for the distribution of the film,
Yeah,
which has just premiered.
yeah. No, it was on several festival actually, but that was the first in live for us. So thank you so much for the selection. Hope you'll have a great screening, and hope I'll be able to discover your festival in the next years, for
Sure,
example.
we're rooting for
So
you.
yeah, thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.